fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's Megapiemanphd here, and welcome to another look at my map video, this time for Payload Race Rush RC1. That is right, we are at release candidate. This map is now up on the Steam Workshop. You can check it out, you can give it a vote, you can vote up or down or sideways or however you want to, but it is, in my books, done. It is actually finished, and it's nice to get a second map up on the workshop. Technically third map, because Synthetic Event was the second, but Synthetic Event is mostly a reskin of King of the Hill Synthetic. It's not actually like a separate project, a fully separate map, whereas Rush is a fully separate map. Now, the biggest difference between the last version of Rush and this version of Rush is detailing and optimization. A couple versions ago, I wanted to push Rush into release candidate, and I played around with the idea, but it needed more work, so I put it back in beta for a couple versions, and now I've got it fully, finally out in release candidate. I'm happy with where it's at, and we're moving on to other projects that I have been wanting to work on. And since this map was so close to being done, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just get it done, finish it, put it on the workshop, see how it does, and work on other things. I got Payload Midwest that I've been working on and off. I've got a holiday project I've been working on. I've got the Open Fortress I've been working on, things off and on here and there whenever I feel like working on specific things. So there's stuff going on. There's stuff happening. Of course, there's other videos I'm working on for reviews and whatnot for the channel. But anyway, enough about that nonsense. It's done! So if you look around here, there is some nice fancy detailing added to the map. And unfortunately, a lot of the outer bounds areas, in order to try to get this map to run better, I deleted a lot of props. I did a lot of under-the-hood stuff with area portals, with hints and skips, with occluders, that kind of a thing. If you know anything about Sorcerer Hammer, those are part of what you use to optimize a map. But the main problem with Rush is that when I designed it, Stage 2 has this problem a lot more than Stage 1. But when I designed it, I didn't really take optimization into account in my mind. So trying to optimize a map after you've pretty much built everything and pretty much finished all of the geometry, layout, and all that isn't always ideal. You really want to build your maps to be optimized, not build them and then try to optimize later. And the reason why you want to do that is because then you run into issues that I have had with Stage 2 of this map particularly, in which the map runs like crap, and I don't really know what to do to fix it. But I have done a couple of things. There's also... Did I talk about the... Did the last version have a skybox? I don't remember if the last version had skybox. If the last version didn't have a skybox, this version has a skybox now. I'm pretty happy with the skybox. I found these nice skyboxified tree props of the normal TF2 pine trees that I was able to shove out there, I believe made by ASG Alligator. And it makes it look sort of foresty, but still sort of farmy. That barn looks maybe a little bit too big, but I mean, that's the size that it is on 2 Fort, so I don't know. It's everything in the skybox is 1/16 the scale that it's supposed to be in the normal map, because a skybox takes small things and blows them up large to make an outside area. So maybe it looks a little bit weird. Maybe I'll update that in the future. But right now, for now, I am done with Rush. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Also, where do I keep the second stage for this map? Ever since I split the stages to be different parts of, like, specifically different areas, different parts of the Hammer grid, I can never remember where in the world I put it. I did that specifically for optimization, so things in Stage 2 don't start rendering in Stage 1. But then I put Stage 2 all the way over here and then built a skybox around it, so now if I move Stage 2, it won't line up with the skybox, and it's just a whole thing. But yeah, you can see a lot of this stuff out here. It's kind of blander and emptier than it was previously out of this out-of-bounds area, and I also got rid of a lot of custom props in the out-of-bounds areas just to try to lower the file size. I'm disheartened that I had to do that, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get the thing to run well, and it runs a lot better than it used to. I put a big area portal, like, across the middle of this thing, and it does happen to run a lot better than it used to. It still may not be as good as some official TF2 maps, but then again, I'm not an official mapper, so what can you expect? But yeah, I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to say for this video. I added some of this snow trim around the bottom here to try to get that snowy, wintry vibe more throughout the map, because it's very much a Barn Blitz-inspired map. I used a lot of reference material from Barn Blitz. I'm trying to think of any other maps I really referenced for this, and I don't think I did really reference anything else specifically. Maybe little bits of some of the payload race maps, like Pipeline or Nightfall, or maybe even a little bit of Banana Bay. But mostly Barn Blitz inspired to try to get that real big farm vibe. And I like the farm aesthetic for Team Fortress 2. Farm and industry are the strongest aesthetics for TF2, and unfortunately, while you see industry a lot, and you see industry in this particular map, you don't see farm quite as much as you used to, or really much at all. It seems to be difficult for people to really figure out how to get the farm theme across with the ideas of Team Fortress 2. So I've been working on the farm theme, worked on it a bit for King of the Hill Synthetic. Not a whole lot, a little bit, but definitely went as in as I possibly could for Rush, and I'm pretty happy with it. Stage 2 still seems to play the best of both of the stages. Stage 1 has got some issues that I don't really know how to fix, mainly where the carts are only together for a short period of time, and once the cart gets pushed past a certain point, it sort of becomes very difficult for one team to push out of their spawn, and instead of just always having to 100% defend the cart. But that's kind of a flaw of Payload Race, since Payload Race has teams both on attack and defense. I wanted to mess with Payload Race just for something different. I never made a payload map before this. And going from King of the Hill to Payload Race specifically, was definitely a bit of a change. But, like I said before, I'm pretty happy with Rush. It is up on the Steam Workshop. You can check it out. You can vote for it. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know. Let me know of any feedback you have, either in the comments on this video on YouTube, or you can check out its TF2 Maps thread. I believe I also made a thread on Game Banana, of all things, because just trying to figure out places that you can upload maps to online. And Game Banana, I don't think they're as popular as they used to be. But they've still got a lot of mods there, especially for source games like TF2 and Half-Life and all that lovely stuff. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I have been Megapieman. I hope you have enjoyed this little dev series for Payload Race Rush. I plan on doing more of these in the future. I've got a update for Synthetic that I want to get out and probably make a video on that, as well as other projects. But until next time, I have been Megapieman, and I will talk to you guys later.